All right, guys, we are live. Welcome in, everybody. 27 Squad Hub watchers, welcome in. We are here for another edition of the Young Guns podcast. We've got a lot to talk about today. I'm joined here by my co-host Hub. Say what's going on, man.
What's up, bro? What's up, everybody? It feels like it's been longer for some reason, but we are here as usual with the Young Guns podcast. Shots everybody in chat. We got Talking Sports with Muzz, Edward Shan, David AV, Dollar Beer, Bradley. How y'all doing? Weird week because Thursday Night Football, man. It feels very weird. I had to speed up everything for my channel, and it's just weird.
Yeah. That is the worst part. And I've always said this before. I think I said this on the stream we have before. I like Thursday night just seeing, games. I like just watching football in general. So I like football, watching and being able to watch it all the time. I don't like when the Giants play Thursday night. I hate it when they play Thursday night because ever since I've been doing YouTube, I've had to speed up all my content. I didn't even make a preview yet. I haven't made a preview in like 3 weeks, so it's probably not going to get done this week.
Hey, at least you on point with the update videos, though.
Yes. So I'm trying to get the updates out, trying to reconcile a little bit for the lack of content there. But and then Sunday comes around, right? Sunday comes around and you don't get to watch your team play. You got to watch everybody else's team play, and you're just sitting there like wishing you got to see. And then especially if your team loses, loses on Thursday.
We talked about this before in a previous episode when you said you love Thursday night, and I told you this is why I hate Thursday night because of what you just said. Your team doesn't play on Sunday, and then for me too. Actually, if you guys are a member of my channel, my preview is up, but I spent all day today making it. I don't like spending my Wednesdays, which is usually I take some time off. This is the only day channel-wise I take some time off. And this week I had to use it to make that preview video. And even then, it's like I still had to speed up and cut corners to get it out in time. It's like, God damn it,
man. Exactly. So I was like, maybe I should hurry up and make a preview, but I'm like, damn, I already have a video recorded. I just probably should put that up first and then try to make an unedited preview, I guess. But what's going on, everybody in the chat? Jaden Dawkins, David AV, Dollar Beer, Sabrina in the chat. What's going on? It is throwing me off. Going to be tired at the end of the week, and will be Sunday.
Well, I guess what she's trying to say is what I said.
Sorry, Sabrina. I was trying to comprehend. It's all good, Sabrina.
I think what she's trying to say is what I said during my stream on Sunday. And by the way, guys, me and KB are fine. People thought that we had problems, and that's why we didn't stream together on Sunday. I'm gonna let you take like that and explain. It's not even that serious, bros. He just got work.
Yeah.
He just got work.
Yeah, guys. Wait, I didn't even know what was going on, but I don't know what the controversy was. But no,
I'm talking about during my stream. They're like, "Hey, yo, where's KB? Did you with KB fight? Like, what's happening?" I'm like, hey, "The man just got work, bro."
Oh yeah, guys. So I'll just break it down real quick before I continue. You can continue on talking. So I'm a mail carrier. Everybody knows I'm a mail carrier. And so this is the time of the year now, holiday season, where we start there's a contract with USPS and Amazon, and basically USPS workers deliver Amazon packages on Sundays because Amazon is so crazy with their packages. They kind of relieve some of it to the post office. And so on Sundays, we deliver those packages. So during holiday season, that's what I'm doing. And unfortunately, I have to miss Giants game. I got to miss, the early Sunday games. And so it sucks. I had to tell Hub, late notice, they put me on the schedule for Sunday. I'm like, damn it, I won't be able to stream on. But it looks like you got it done, though. You got it done, right?
I got it done with PCA. Yeah. At first, it was a bit awkward because we're like, damn, who's going to do play-by-play? We both hate doing play-by-play. I end up having PCA do it because I'm like, listen, bro, your football knowledge is way more than mine. I think it would be smarter if we did the play-by-play. As I was saying before, I think what Sabrina was trying to say was what I said during that stream. I hate the fact that we're playing tomorrow because it's 4 days rest, and the team got even more injured during that Washington game. It's crazy.
Right, and especially from that wide receiver position, man. I don't know, and me and you talked about it before the stream. I don't know what the Giants are going to do at that wide receiver position. Should Darius Slayton stay out of the game and Sterling Shepherd not, come back off IR like they're hoping that he does, but we don't know. We just don't know. So,
right now, the way I'm looking at it, bro, I think you might have told me that Slayton was taken off of the injury report. Yeah. I'm still looking at it as we have two healthy wide receivers in Mac and Tate.
Yeah, and that's how we should. That's how we should look at it. Yeah.
It's because Slayton's gonna be hobbled. How much are we gonna use him? Shepard's not even confirmed to be back yet. If he is, he's gonna be a very, very late game active, and he's gonna be hobbled. We literally have 2 wide receivers to go into next game, and I'm surprised. I'm gonna need you to tell me why in the world didn't we elevate somebody? I understand why we didn't sign anybody, because when we signed the defensive end, Jabaal Sheard, you know, it's stupid, but the COVID-19 protocols are reset, so he's not even qualified to play this game. He's qualified to play the next game. So that explains why we didn't sign anybody. But why didn't we elevate? We have 2, 3 more wide receivers on the practice squad that we could have elevated.
I don't know, and this like I said, we've been going, and it's crazy because you and me had this suspicion about it ever since the 53-man roster came out. We kept 5 wide receivers on the roster, and then we lost Sterling Shepherd, and we did not fill in his place. And me and you were constantly talking about the wide receiver position while everybody told us to calm down and not worry about it. Me and you were always very, cautious about it, and for good reason. Now our wide receiving core is beat up, and I'm telling you, if you look on film, it does not help Daniel Jones in the slightest. It's hurting him a lot.
And people call us homers too, by the way, in my reaction video. So I got an angry comment that was like, "Oh my God, this dude is the biggest homer I've ever seen. He can't take off his blue lens." Because I said, listen, that decision is on DJ, but it's like I can't blame the man, because that game he literally was thrown to like one person after everybody went down. Like, what are you gonna do in that situation?
Right. And then a lot of people are talking about trade Evan Ingram. I thought I was on the Evan Ingram train, but I don't want to, just because we have no weapons. We have no weapons. I mean, I know Evan Ingram drops the ball, and I know he's trade bait and all this stuff. I just don't think we should yet. I just don't think it sucks, but I don't think we should trade Evan Ingram, because who else is, I mean, Caden Smith is there, yes, but I don't know if he's going to be
like at this point.
We need
what I'm saying? I never thought I'd say this, because I was always against it. Once you shift Ingram to wide receiver, it takes away his value. But at this point, just put the dude in the slot and have him play slot wide receiver.
Right, just play like slot wide receiver. Yeah, just have him do that and
slide him into the slot. Even slide Wayne Gallman into the slot sometimes. Dion Lewis into the slot.
Yeah, we saw a lot. We saw some Dion Lewis. I don't know if you saw last game. We saw some Dion Lewis take some receptions in the slot. So, I mean, I guess that's their way to try to cope with it. I mean, I don't like it. I mean, I really wish, and especially Austin Mack. I loved Austin Mack, but I didn't think he was going to do anything in this game.
He had one reception for 1 yard,
and then he had two or three targets in the game. But I thought he would get a little bit more. I'll be honest with you. I thought he would get about 4 or 5. But I mean, Daniel Jones threw for 112 yards, so it's not like he was going to throw the ball much anyway. And that's one thing. You can tell the wide receiver position is really screwed up with how many yards Daniel Jones is throwing for each game. Last year, it was like 200, 300 around that range. He was not throwing for 100 yards a game. Now he's averaging one of the worst throwing numbers in the NFL, because he has no one to throw to. Look at Golden Tate. He was trying to find Golden Tate all game. He couldn't find him. Darius Slayton was there. 2 receptions. They had to force Darius Slayton on the field, because Darius Slayton got hurt twice with that foot injury. He re-aggravated his foot injury twice. First, when he caught the touchdown.
Last year, wasn't it last year when he was out for like the first 4 weeks? It was a foot injury also.
I believe it was a hamstring, but that's what happens. I said this in a couple of videos ago. It happens with burners. Burners, they have a lot of foot injuries, because they're fast guys. It's a lot of wear and tear on the body. So, he's gonna get those injuries, and that's why I really wanted some more depth. And like I said, I love Austin Mack. I don't think he's gonna be much of any use. And we could kind of twist off of this subject a little bit, talk about some rumors around, and John Ross being put on the trade block. I would like to get your thoughts on that. I don't know if you I don't know if you put out your thoughts on it, if you made it. Oh, here's Lauren. Everybody, Lauren is here from She Got Sports. What's going on?
I have to sneeze.
Okay.
Was that a sneeze or a cough?
Okay, I'm good. Every time I come over here, I have like allergies. I'm always like, "Oh, sorry, my allergies."
That's her grand appearance, guys. That's the introduction.
I like chug my water and like sneeze. I didn't plug my mic in. Does this sound fine? I was like rushing.
So it sounds fine.
Okay, cool.
But
on John Ross, right?
John Ross.
And on the wide receiving core in general, you're right. We've been questioning it from the beginning. It's probably my only biggest knock on Joe Judge. I want to add on to what you said. It definitely affects how many yards DJ is throwing per game. Like, he has literally no, like we said it before, he has no weapons in the sense that the weapons were trash. Now it's legitimately he has no weapons. There's actually nobody to throw to. And in addition to, I still got problems here and there with Jason Garrett's offense. Now, John Ross, no, we have 5 draft picks. What are we trading for him? Nah, I don't want him.
Yeah.
Straight up, that's it. Like,
you guys don't want him?
the only burner I would trade for is Kenny Stills from the
Okay.
Texans
Okay.
because he's from the Texans, and the Texans are probably going to be selling. They're probably going to let him go for something cheap. Either way, for both of them, it's going to involve a draft pick. We only got 5 draft picks, so it's just a nah for me, man.
Yeah, go ahead, Lauren.
All right, no, I saw us both going at the same time, but I was thinking about this earlier today. Yeah, just with like the trade deadline and stuff, I just think the Giants need more picks. Like obviously we're still in a rebuild, even though we're somehow contenders in the division. But like,
Yeah, right.
I feel like rebuild has got to be the priority, and I feel like there are still players that are going to probably need to be traded at the trade deadline. I just saw someone say Tomlinson, I think, in the chat. Maybe like, he's someone like it's going to be a situation I think where they can't re-sign all those guys or afford to keep all those guys on the D line right there. I think it's probably going to be Lawrence and Leonard who are going to be with the team in the future. So like, I don't know. People say maybe trade Ingram. I don't know. Like, there's a few names, maybe Shepherd, maybe Tate. Like, there's a few players that might be traded, and I think they just gotta emphasize getting picks back because, like you said, they don't really have any picks.
Right, and that's something that we could talk about too. Like, should the Giants be buyers? I mean, should the Giants be sellers rather than buyers? The only thing that I have to combat that a little bit, I just don't think the Giants are going to be sellers, just because I think Dave Gettleman, if his job, because there's rumors around that Dave Gettleman's fired. I don't think he's going to sell anybody.
I've been saying since before the season began, this man is gone.
Right, but I think it's kind of set in stone now, and I think he's trying. I think, call me crazy, you heard it here first. The Giants just went into win now mode. I honestly think the Giants just went.
I think you say that after Thursday, like tomorrow. Oh, that's tomorrow.
Yeah,
I forgot that's tomorrow.
I think just by
like a pivotal day.
Just by the Jabaal Sheard signing, how we're not letting our, not getting a younger talent and not letting our younger talent play.
Okay, first of all, Jabaal Sheard, he's gonna come in.
Yeah,
he's a defensive end pass rusher, right?
Yes.
So is he gonna play outside linebacker or 3-4?
No, he's gonna play that 3-4 linebacker because he's played that in the past.
There is no young talent to play there. We're not putting out Carr, Coughlin, and Cam Brown, 2 rookies.
But that's what in rebuilding teams, that's what they do a lot. And the fact that we have 3 veterans as our top 3 pass rushers, and we're not trying to get these young talent. All I'm saying is I think the Giants just shifted into win now mode. They noticed that I think the only reason why they're doing that too is because they're only 1 game out of the division lead.
Here's my thing to that, right? I disagree for now, but I think that if at week 8 we are at the top of the division, which could happen, then we would be on buyers at the trade deadline.
That is so crazy. Just like
not right now. Like,
on top of the division. Like, what?
It's just literally way too early. It's just 1 win over the Washington football team, right? Let's keep it in check. Which is why I'm like, if at week 8, which is the trade deadline, if then somehow we're like 3-5 and at the top of the division, yeah, we're definitely buying. I definitely think we're going to be buying at that point.
Yeah. Like, I don't think we're gonna buy big. Like, I don't think we're gonna buy big. I honestly don't think
we're not giving up the first round pick. What? No, I'm just kidding.
Right. Yeah, I honestly don't think we're gonna buy at all. But everybody's throwing around, should the Giants be buyers or sellers? I'm kind of in the middle on that, just because I don't feel like the Giants are gonna sell, because if Dave Gettleman really knows he's gonna be fired, if they already told them, listen, at the end of the season you're gone, I don't think he's gonna be selling anybody or even trying to do them that favor at all. And then at the same time, I don't see him buying, because I mean, who are we gonna give up? And we're gonna give up picks. I mean, we don't want to give up picks. Hub just mentioned that we have 5 picks. So, and then if we do sell, say we do sell, and Dave Gettleman says, okay, I know I'm gonna be fired, but I'm just gonna try to help out the team as much as they can anyway, which I don't think I would never do that. I'm petty. I would never do that. I'll say
that's the thing, guys, though, right? The reason I think he would.
Come on, Danny, let's go. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I'm like, Danny,
that's what he did with the draft, though. He could have screwed us over, and with free agency, he could have done that, but he did it, for what was the betterment of the team, I guess you could say. That's why I have confidence like he would sell. Honestly, if I'm a career with y'all, I think the Giants are going to do absolutely nothing at the trade deadline. I think we're going to roll past it and nothing happens. But we should sell, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have 5 picks, but how many? Where are those picks at? We just have the typical. We just have the typical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll pull it up. I'm pretty sure we have a 6th or 7th rounder. Our 5th rounder is gone to the Jets because that was part of the Leonard Williams trade, I think. Let me see.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
NYG 2020 draft pick.
Because think about it. Whether it be because honestly, I think the trade value for both Kenny Stills and John Ross, whether it be either of those guys, I think is around a 5th round pick. I mean, that's probably what I would give up.
We have a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th. That's 6. I know we have 5 picks, so one of these.
Yeah,
is
I
wrong.
heard we had 5 too.
Yeah, one of those is wrong. Let me see what this other site says. I'm on Pro Sports Transaction. Okay, here it is. We have a 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Our 4th would go. Let's see. It says Jets conditional if the Giants re-sign Leonard Williams to a contract extension before the start of the 2021 year. And then the 5th, it says conditional if the Giants do not re-sign Leonard Williams before the 2021 year.
Okay, so it's all contingent on.
Yeah,
So it's one of those we don't have.
Yeah,
or...
so it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, either a 4th, either a 5th, then a 6th, and our 7th rounder that we used to have, we traded at the beginning of the season for Isaac Yadam.
Man.
I mean, what was that 7th rounder going to be, honestly?
No, but here's the thing. I've said this a couple of times. I actually value 7th round picks, not for picking a player, but for trading. Because think about how many guys out there you can get, like veteran guys that probably aren't like starters, but they're role players. Think about how many times they're sold for a 7th round pick. You know,
I agree with you, but
I like 7th round picks.
Technically, that's what we did with Yadam. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yadam is a veteran.
So that's why I value 7th round picks. That's why when we had all those 7th round picks, I really wanted the Giants to like at least trade for a player last year because we had all those 7th round picks, or what was it, all those 6th round picks, something like that, right? No, a bunch of 7s.
Yeah, we had a bunch of 7s last year.
Yeah, so I wanted the Giants to use one of those instead of picking somebody up like TJ Brunson. Like, yeah, I'd rather than
shout out to Christopher Hidalgo. Tay Crowder was probably the only good 7th round pick, but yeah,
my God, Tay Crowder's
like 1 in a million, bro.
Yeah, Tay Crowder was good. But somebody had mentioned a name here. What was it? Somebody had mentioned a name to try to trade for. I don't know if it's gone now, but it's all right.
So apparently we have the 5th and the Jets have the 4th because we didn't re-sign Leonard Williams yet.
Okay, so if we do re-sign Leonard Williams, we get a 5th, or we let him go?
I think they're saying we're getting the I think the deadline was up or something like that.
Okay.
Wait, is it the 2021 season or 2021 like year?
They said year. The website I'm looking at says league year 2021.
So yeah, that'll be the 2021 draft, right?
Or is it after the Super Bowl?
I have no idea.
If we resign him by the 2021 league year?
Yeah, to a contract extension.
Oh, well, we have all year then. We have until his thing is up. His franchise tag.
Basically.
So around like March next year. Around then.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, the only reason why I made that video about John Ross is like it's good to think about because I don't we might not have a 5th round pick, but I honestly think all he's worth is a 5th round pick, and same thing with like guys like Kenny Stills, or I just want to bring somebody in there. I know these guys don't stay healthy. Kenny Stills hasn't been healthy throughout his career, but he's a decent receiver. Same thing with John Ross. They never knew how to use John Ross, in my opinion. That's why he's been a healthy scratch. He's not terrible. They don't use the guy. So I feel like they could still be useful, and I just want the Giants to have depth. I don't care if they can stay healthy or not right now. I just like John Ross for the most part this year has been pretty healthy. The most critical injury he suffered was in his rookie year. So he suffered other injuries after that, but I think if we just have talent here that we can suffice for now to see what happens at the end of the year. So we have, we don't even know we're getting rid of Golden Tate next year. We don't know what's going to happen.
No, we definitely are. This man, Tate, he dropped off so hard this year.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was surprised. Yeah. I was thinking about that today too. I was like, maybe he like bounces back a little bit. Cause like, how does that happen in just one off season? Like,
I was going to say he did have the
chemistry with Jones last year.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Lauren, do you think it had to do with the injury he had at the beginning of the year, or do you think he just straight up dropped off?
I don't know. Like, honestly, I don't know. That's what I was trying to figure out. Like, maybe he just like bounces back a little bit, but he hasn't been involved like at all.
Cough, cough. Jason Garrett. I still got problems with his play calling.
Yeah, I still got a little bit of issue with that. Like that. like that fumble 2 weeks ago, right? That behind the back fumble, like that should have been a run. What was that? That was first down, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that a first down? It should have been a run. Like there's plenty of times where you could point out throughout the game where something should have happened, but it didn't, and it wound up costing the Giants, and that's because of
like
Jason
that final
Garrett.
drive versus Dallas. Like, why? I don't understand why they didn't run the ball there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like the run game was actually working. Like I get like you want to drive down the field, but didn't they have timeouts and stuff? There was like plenty of time left. All you needed was a field goal, and like Graham Gano could hit from like 50 plus.
Right.
There was also moments this past this past game, and this is more on Judge than it is on Garrett when it comes to this type of decision making, where we could have sealed off the game at the end against Washington without having to worry about our defense with a field goal, but we punted it back, and I'm pretty sure Gano could have made the field goal because he has such a strong leg.
Yeah, I saw that. I remember that too, and I was like really surprised. I thought for sure we were going for the field goal there.
Yeah.
Well, what do you guys think when we were up, like, I believe it was 10-3 last week, and we elected from the 2-yard line to kick a field goal? Do you guys think we should have went for it there, or you guys think the field goal was fine?
What down was it again?
That was fourth down.
I thought they were going for that.
There. Yeah, I
was surprised actually a lot. Like last game, I thought they were like way more conservative than they usually are. Because like Joe Judge has gone for it, so I didn't know what was happening.
Here's the thing. In my preview video for the Washington game, I don't want to say I predicted it, but I did say I feel like Garrett is going to be a lot more conservative this game because he went all out against Dallas because he knows that team, and there's also there's also a little bit of he knows how the defense would perform, against his offense, but it's more so just about familiarity, which is why I think he was so aggressive against that Dallas game. Against the Washington, they were way more conservative than I thought they were going to be, but I did think they would reel it back just a little bit because Garrett is still to this day figuring out what in the world he wants the offense to be. And I can't blame it all. I can't really blame him too much because now we're down even more people on the offensive side.
Yeah. So I mean, and with that play in particular, that field goal, I honestly felt like that was Joe Judge like losing confidence in the offense, and that's not a good sign. I mean, usually you would have your confidence in your team, in your young quarterback to get it done from the 2-yard line. I mean, you could just like run a QB sneak or, get it to Devontae Freeman. We were running well between the tackles all game. Like that to me seemed like Joe Judge was losing confidence in the coaching staff. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, that's what it yelled to me when we're watching that.
Because it just wasn't like once. It was like multiple times being conservative when you could have gone for it on fourth down. Honestly, the field goal, I was surprised by like not going for the field goal. I don't know because like Graham Gano's been like the most sure player on this team.
Yeah.
But like the fourth down on like the 2, like I don't know why you don't go for that. Like I just agree with what you're saying there. Like the confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like that's not good.
Not only the confidence, during the game, like it just got really predictable after like the first touchdown. I was saying it in my head, and I said it to Pest into the stream too. I was like, watch, now we're gonna stall out a little bit, and the offense is not gonna do anything until the second half. That's exactly what happened because that's how we were against the Cowboys. That's how we were against the Rams, and it's how we were Week 1 against the Steelers. The games where the offense sort of got it going. It's just this team is a lot more predictable than I think we're letting on. It's a very, very predictable team in terms of how the momentum goes with them.
Yeah. What was time of possession in the fourth quarter?
Oh, it was like 2 minutes for the Giants.
Yeah, it was like something so small. Like time of possessions were like
what's crazy is that in the third quarter it was flipped. In the third quarter, the Giants had like 10 minutes time possession, and then the rest was not 10 minutes. What I'm saying, they had like 10 minutes time possession in the third quarter, and then it flipped around in the fourth. And the Washington had more time possession.
Yeah, I think to finish the game, Washington had more time possession too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was something we really struggle at is time of possession. And John Doe says, Kid Blue, you have confidence in our offense, and at this yes and no at the same time. Like if I'm a coach and my teams, they've been moving the ball down the field, not with ease, but they have been moving the ball down the field. I expect them to get 2 yards on fourth down. It's against a team that is not very good. I'm taking my chances there. I'm trying to get that, that confidence going to boost the morale and show my team as a coach that I'm confident in them. If they get it done, that boosts the morale like crazy. They got that done. And, that's what the Giants have been struggling at this year was red zone offense. And in my honest
They still
opinion,
are.
in my honest opinion, I like Daniel Jones, but I think he's the worst red zone quarterback in the NFL. I just don't think it's not only just him; it's the play calling as well. Like we don't ever run rollouts in the end zone. We don't ever run like these tosses and stuff like that other teams do. We don't ever do those type of stuff. I don't know if he thinks that's too predictable. I don't care if it's predictable. It works. Like even if a team knows you're running a rollout, sometimes there are just so many different options to throw to. You just they don't have time to defend everybody, and just it doesn't work. So the defense doesn't work. So I mean, I don't know. I don't really have confidence in the offense to answer your question, John Doe. And I know you're trying to be funny there because the offense has sucked. But at the same time, if I'm Joe Judge and I'm at the 2-yard line and it's against a Washington team that's not very good, I'm up 10-3. I'm trying to put the dagger in early. I'm going for it. It's like the first quarter, first quarter, something like that. I'm doing it. I'm taking my chances and see what happens the rest of the game. So, I mean, I'd rather it happen early in the game than late in the game. So.
And I feel like you got to have something in your playbook for like 4th and 2 on the goal line. You must have like something in your playbook, like a special play. Like, how do you not have that? Maybe they do and they didn't go to it, but like you should have something where you're like, okay, this is the play. Like,
and that's fundamental stuff, like teams like game plan for those type of situations because those are the key moments. They always say it's a game of inches, and sometimes you just got to pick up those little bit of yards to move along, and it sucks. Oh, something I also wanted to mention is John Doe just mentioned Riverboat Ron. How brain blowing.
Listen, bro. I 100% thought this man was just gonna take the extra point, and we're going into overtime.
Well, no, I knew he was gonna go for 2 because first of all, I was listening on the radio and Bob Papa was saying, yeah, he's gonna go for 2. Everybody knows Ron Rivera, so he screwed his team up on that one because you never know, they probably could have won in overtime. But
no, they had all the momentum, bro.
Do you know what pissed me off at the end of the second half? The end of the second half where they punted the ball off, and yes, we were down at the half-yard line, and then we get that running into the kicker call. Riverboat Ron rather takes the 4th and 5 from midfield than have the Giants pin at the half-yard line. Yeah. He winds up going all the way and scoring. He scores a freaking touchdown at the end. That pissed me off. And they had like 11 seconds.
I had respect for that, though. I was like, okay, you went for it and you scored after. Like, whoa. Like,
that was like a 4th and 5.
Like, you look like a genius.
Yes, that was an extremely ballsy play, first of all. With the team that he just started coaching this year, he's barely getting to know these guys. He has confidence in Kyle Allen, yes, but 4th and 5 from midfield, instead of taking the half-yard line where you pin the other team in, is just nobody would ever do that except Ron Rivera, and I can't believe it worked, and it pissed me off that we allowed another touchdown at the end of half. How many times have we done that this year?
Literally every single game.
Screwed us up, man. Honestly, those 2 touchdowns should not have happened, man.
Listen.
The last touchdown shouldn't have happened. It was the delay of game.
Bro, the refs tried us once again. They tried us on that running into the kicker call. They tried us on the interception call, which was way out of bounds.
Bogus. It was out of bounds.
Not only did one of his feet land out of bounds, but from the angle that was showing his elbow. Both of his hands on elbow and like half of his torso was out of bounds. They tried us on, I think it was a holding call on Blake Martinez, where Blake literally just had his hand back, and they're like, oh, defensive holding. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
they tried us on so many calls.
We refs that game. We definitely had to beat the refs that game. And Jay Dawkins says it was delay of game. And then Bob Papa and Carl Banks after the game on the WFAN were like wondering why refs do that, why they allow the extra second to go by. Because it's not just the Giants they allow it to. They allow it in a lot of other games. Like the play clock is running down. I don't get why, they don't just pull the flag out for delay of game, but it happens in the league. I don't know what it is, but we definitely got screwed on both of those touchdowns. But
shout out to Joseph Balby. Yes, Bradbury is the best cornerback in the league. I've said it since week 2. Did I not call it since week 2? This man's the best cornerback in the league.
I had a feeling when they signed him because he was in the NFC South. He goes against Julio, Michael Thomas, Mike Evans. Like this guy's numbers like have to get better coming to the NFC East. Like
Yeah.
And the thing is, last game, quick question to both of you. Did you notice Terry McLaurin last
No.
game? Did you
No.
notice him, Lauren? Here's the thing. Last game was Bradbury's worst game by yardage. That was
Really?
yeah. He let Terry McLaurin have, I think, 79 yards. That's the most he's allowed any receiver this year. That was his worst game. Can you imagine that?
So
He had
yeah,
like a few catches, maybe like 3 or something, but there was no
Yeah.
like huge gains. And like
Right.
McLaurin can like easily have like a 60-yard touchdown or something. Like he has the
Mhm.
speed to do that.
Right, and I'm surprised that he was able to keep up with McLaurin because they're like kind of a mismatch there. Like James Bradbury's more of a zone corner, and Terry McLaurin's more of a burner. Like that's just not a good match. But I mean, it wound up working out very well. And you look at watching a lot of fantasy football. I mean, they pay attention
My
to
bad
fantasy
then.
football.
My bad. I'm getting
What?
corrected by Sajid and Edward. It wasn't even
that?
Bradbury. This makes me feel better about the Giants defense. Ryan Lewis was covering Terry McLaurin. Huh?
Oh yeah,
Ryan Lewis was covering Terry McLaurin, and we didn't notice Terry? That just makes me feel even better.
He had a Ryan Lewis had like a 70-something grade according to PFF. That's the highest by any Giants defensive back besides James Bradbury. So he's playing pretty well. But yeah, one thing I've noticed, I pay attention to a lot of fantasy football. I'm looking at other receivers against the Giants, and you look at all the stats by what top receivers that face the Giants. Amari Cooper had 2 catches for 23 yards. I know CD Lamb went off, but you look at what James Bradbury did to Amari Cooper. You look at what James Bradbury did to Allen Robinson, right? A bunch of these receivers, he leads the league in pass defense with 10 already. So I mean, he's having a phenomenal year. He's had 2 interceptions, has a fumble recovery. I mean, he's playing great.
Come on now, KB. Do you remember last week? I don't know if you saw, but I did tweet out this clip from my preview last week. I edited the cop hat, the NYPD hat, and the NYPD badge on Bradbury, and then I had jail cells rolling across all the receivers that he was covering up until that week, bro. I had to add it in because I was like, if I don't, I'm doing this man a disservice.
Yeah, he's definitely been locking up everybody he's faced so far. Sajid says Ryan Lewis covered Terry, then Terry moves to the slot later. Yeah, so Ryan Lewis is playing pretty good. He's not playing bad whatsoever. And I guess that he's gonna be our number 2 corner from now on. You haven't seen ever since Ryan Lewis has gotten here. You haven't seen.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. You be picking everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, just stating facts here. We haven't seen Corey Ballentine play, and that's I guess that's pretty good. Jaden Dawkins says Kibu has 0 passing. I have 0 passing touchdowns. Of course, I'm not playing. Let's see. On Michael Gallup was what was that?
You talking about Ryan Lewis on Michael Gallup?
Oh yeah. Oh my God, Michael Gallup at the end of those the Cowboy game, those 2 catches, man. That's God. Oh yeah. So big topic I wanted to talk about. Matt Peart, my guy, Matt Peart. Have to talk about him because at the beginning of this year, I was ranting and raving about Matt Peart, how much I loved him. And now everybody's getting to see why I love Matt Peart so much. The guy graded the highest out of any. I know he only had a couple of snaps. He graded the highest out of any Giants player last week.
I just want to say,
yeah,
yo, listen, you heard it from me and KB before literally anybody else on YouTube about Matt Peart. KB started raving about him. And I was the one mocking him to the Giants. I mocked him. I called it. I said, we're going to take Andrew at 4th. And then I said, in the 3rd round, 99 overall, watch out for the kid from UConn, Matt Peart. Exactly what happened. He was beautiful. Cam Fleming needs to be fired immediately.
Fired immediately. Send him home. Send him home. Yeah, I mean, Matt Peart has been playing well, but everybody's over here talking about that he should be playing left tackle and not Andrew Thomas. No, Andrew Thomas is the better pass protector, and you always put that guy on the left side. Matt Peart, I did my film review on him, and in pass protection, he was good, but he got away with a lot of stuff that, probably, he shouldn't have. And his legs look a little lazy in pass protection. I think he's more of a run blocking right tackle. He definitely should be on the right tackle spot. You get Cam Fleming the hell out of here. He did another ballerina spin last week that I saw in Pittsburgh where he just didn't know where the hell he was going. He had defenders. He was a doorman just letting defenders through. So my opinion, Matt Peart, right tackle, Andrew Thomas, left tackle. Let's get it started, man. I can't wait to see that happen. Hopefully it happens this week. Hopefully it happens tomorrow.
Before Lauren gives her take real quick, we got Joe Judge in the chat. He says he said he got us with the dub tomorrow.
Joe Judge, sign a receiver already, please. Sign a receiver, please.
All right,
So
Lauren, your
serious.
take on the tackles.
Yeah, I think like I feel the same way as probably everyone does, except for the people that want Peart to play left tackle. No, you gotta stick with Thomas there. But on the right side, yeah, put him in. Why not? I think you got to give him playing time, and like now, I think is the time to do it. 1 in 5. Like if not now, then when?
Exactly.
I know they said they like I remember when they drafted him, like the analysts were saying, yeah, this is a guy that you're gonna have to develop. But listen, we're going into week 7. Like, why not? They put him in like for what, the 2-minute drive before half versus what was it, the Cowboys?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, yeah.
And then it's like, okay, if you're gonna do that, just like put him in. You know what I mean? Like let him play.
Yeah. I completely agree.
At least in my opinion. Like I don't really agree with like just a little bit here, a little bit there. Like you gotta gain momentum. Like
I want to say Sajid has a good point. It is small sample size of him.
Right, but here's the thing. I get what he's saying there because I said the same thing when it came to Nick Gates, right? I said the same thing when it came to Chad Wheeler. I said the same thing when it came to Bobby Hart, all these other guys. But the thing with Matt Peart is that we've seen Matt Peart play well before in college and that he was a little raw. I said he was ready to start day one. Nobody agreed with me, but
hey, I still hold what I said on draft night. He has the potential to be better than Mekhi Becton. I still hold that.
In my opinion, I think he can be, but at least we've seen that type of stuff. With Nick Gates, I've watched him in Nebraska, and he, like I said, I call him the doorman. He just let everybody through, just like welcome to the hotel. Just let everybody to the quarterback. So that's why I didn't like Nick Gates. That's why I always said to, not look at that sample size as truth. But with Matt Peart, he's showing everything that he showed back at college. Like he's playing just as well, and his technique is great. He looks a little lazy in pass protection, but his run blocking is. You got to see this guy in run blocking on the film. Once he grabs somebody, he doesn't let go to the point where he even lets other people through, which I think he shouldn't do. But he like mauls everybody. He mauled Jonathan Allen, for crying out loud. Jonathan Allen. So
this is going to be random, but I liked Matt Peart even more when they, after they draft him, they had these little Instagram clips of like their first interviews or something. Since I live in NYC, I didn't even know Peart was like actually originally from here. He said the first thing I'm gonna do is get a chopped cheese on a hero. I'm like, oh my god, this dude is from New York, bro. I'm like, oh my god, I love him. And real quick, if we don't see Matt Peart, which I think we should, it would be understandable. Right now, the Eagles are ranked 4th in the league in terms of the amount of sacks with 21, and then week 8 against the Bucs, they're currently ranked 3rd in the league with 22 sacks. So we're probably not going to see them until we play Washington, which is week 9, and they're like nowhere close to those teams.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. If you look at even Washington, their pass rush is great. Now, the Giants have allowed the least amount of pressure last week, which is good. But at the same time, you can't just bet that lightning is going to strike twice. You got some really good players over there on the Washington defensive line. I don't know if you do wait till Washington to put them in. Well, I know what you said about Philly.
Here's another thing. Washington, pressure-wise, is one of the worst teams in the league.
That's weird because they got like 16 sacks on the season.
Yeah, so, pressure-wise, they're like bottom. They're like bottom 10.
Those stats may be a little bit skewed when it comes to the sacks, though. You're right because think about against Philly, they had like 8 sacks against Philly. So, after that, I guess they kind of died down a little bit. But the whole season, the Giants are facing extremely good front sevens. I think. If you don't put them in next week, you don't put them in the week after that against Tampa. Just don't wait to put him in and say, oh, I wait for the right time. Because either way, he's going to be facing crazy talent. Washington is still, even though they don't allow a lot of pressure, they're still a good team, as far as their names go. Ryan Kerrigan, Chase Young, a lot of these guys out there. So put him in, get him some reps, get his momentum going, and, just put him in the fire and see if he works out. He's supposed to be our future franchise right tackle, and I want him to gel with this offensive line as best as we can, just in case, obviously, Dave Gettleman gets fired, and then we have to, kind of restructure our whole team all over again. I would like to see Matt Peart actually do well before the Giants bring in another right tackle and he gets booted out of there. So I just want to see the Giants have some stability at the right tackle position. I want to see Matt Peart start tomorrow. tomorrow because I cannot. I swear on my life, if Derek Barnett has 3 sacks because Cam Fleming's a little ballerina again, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is don't mock Derek Barnett because him, not Fletcher Cox, him and Bradham have been leading the Eagles in sacks. Fletcher Cox has been kind of quiet, and apparently I didn't notice. Bradley just hooked me up. Matt Peart is also Caribbean. Me and Bradley are Caribbean, so he's Caribbean like us. That's what's up, man. Now I even like the guy even more.
And he was also a Giants fan growing up. His one of his guys that he looked up to was Will Beatty, who's also a left
Why
tackle.
aren't we starting him yet? No, what is this combination?
Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying.
What is this combination?
That's what I'm saying. We got to start Matt Peart. We got to. But yeah, I just had to. I just had to boast. I just had to do it a little bit, because I love my guy Matt Peart. So, so looking onto this game against Philly, guys. I mean, what are your honest expectations on this game? I know, like, we had that slight bit of confidence. I have a slight bit of confidence in this game just because Philly's beat up. We kind of thought we were going to beat them at the beginning of the season, and we just beat Washington. We're coming off a win. Maybe we can go 2-0 in the division. I mean, 2-1 in the division. Who knows? And win our second straight. Who knows? But what do you guys think?
I'm Lauren. I'll let you go first.
All right, cool. So honestly, like I feel like this is a winnable game, and this sounds bad to say. Like I shouldn't say this, or as a Giants fan, I shouldn't say this, but like the injuries on the Eagles make me feel like this is a winnable game. I know that makes it sound like I don't have faith in the Giants, but like really, like Philly has a ton of injuries. Like I know we also have a good amount of injuries. Obviously, everyone in the league has a ton of injuries this year, but I don't know. I just feel like this is a winnable game. It's a short week, like Thursday night. Like anything can happen. I definitely think it's a winnable game, and I won't be surprised if they win, to be honest. But I also won't be surprised if they lose. So
yeah,
there's that.
I think we're more expecting the loss, but you do make a great point. It is a very winnable game, huh?
So I don't want to say too much because my preview video isn't out yet. It's for anybody watching the stream right now. If you're awake at 12 a.m., that's when it's gonna come out. So, better stay up till 12 a.m. before that. But I will say this: I had the Eagles winning this game in my preview. I had them winning 24-19. Because
you hate the Giants. You hate them.
At least I'm not a Cowboys fan, bro. At least I'm not like you. I'm not a Cowboys fan, man.
Whatever.
You still haven't showed us that Dak jersey that we know you have. Anyway, I was gonna say, when I did that preview video, I made it like at 3:00 today. The Giants had like 5 people on their injury report, and we know there's more than that wasn't listed, like Sterling Shepard, and so on and so forth. The Eagles, however, had like at least 10.
My God, their list goes so down. I was like, I had to scroll to see their injury report. It's hilarious.
They had at least 10 people on there. The thing is, the Eagles have been consistently improving their offense with more and more injuries week by week. Week 1, they barely scored 19. Last week, they scored almost 30. It's been going up almost linearly, like a linear graph. No matter what, they're figuring something out. And every year, no matter what, we play the Eagles the past 2 years, they've had injuries. They always figure out a way to beat us. They're one of the best teams in the league at adjusting to their injuries and, somehow, some way still performing respectable. Granted, this year it's not respectable because everybody in the NFC East is trash, but that's why I had them still beating us because they always figure out something to beat us. You guys remember Boston Scott? He's the starting running back this game. It was the same thing last year, and Boston Scott made the Giants defense look like, a level 3 college defense, Division 3 college defense. Boston
but here's the thing.
Over us.
But here's the thing. I don't think he's going to be playing that well. First of all, their offensive line isn't the same this year. Their offensive line is god-awful this year. It's
they
bad.
Have a lot of injuries, right?
Listen,
you guys got injured.
They have a rugby. Listen, they have a rugby player.
They have Jamon Brown.
No, they just cut Jamon Brown. So they just cut him. They just cut Jamon Brown. But they have a rugby player playing left tackle. All right. Lane Johnson might come back. They're saying
that's what I thought I saw.
So that's
Deshaun Jackson is coming back.
And Deshaun Jackson's coming back. But I don't think Boston Scott's going to have the same game that he had last year. And the Giants have been doing a decent job in the run game for the past couple of they stopped Antonio Gibson pretty well, last week. And, for the most part, they did something against Zeke, but he picked up all the necessary yardage, which sucked. But obviously, Boston Scott is no Ezekiel Elliott. I think the Giants' run defense is a lot better this year. I cannot see.
I agree with you. And if I would have said that, I would have gone in and basically given you my preview video. But what I gave you at the end there is why I still think the Eagles are going to win. They just know how to beat us.
Yeah.
And until we beat them, I can't say that we are going to beat them. But mostly also because of the fact it is in Philadelphia. They do have fans. The Giants are at such a great disadvantage this year because MetLife isn't allowing any fans, and almost every other stadium is allowing fans. Philly crowd, no matter how many people are there, is going to play some type of role because it's Philly, and I hate Philly. But they're kind of similar to us. Their offensive line might be beat up, but they have a great defensive line. And their defensive line is going to challenge our offensive line. I don't know if people realize how good their defensive line has been this year, especially in pass rush.
And they were sorry. No, you continue.
No, it's fine. I basically closed up my points there.
All right, cool. But yeah, I mean, I feel like everyone knows this, but the Eagles were competitive with the Ravens. I mean, they lost, but they almost came back in that game. Like it was a pretty close score. I mean, compared to what the Ravens did to the Bengals the week before, like I was kind of surprised, like how well the Eagles played against the Ravens.
Yeah, they lost by 2. I think they lost by it was like 30-28 or something like that. They came back late in that game. And that's what scares me as well. How the hell are the Eagles playing better with less players? I don't understand that. That means one thing, coaching. That's coaching.
It's weird because Carson Wentz will like throw those terrible interceptions, right?
Right.
But then he like brings them back in that game in the second half, and like somehow with these wide receivers, I mean, Alshon isn't healthy. Like
their number one wide receiver right now
isn't going to play. Miles Sanders isn't going to play. Like he just, I don't know. Like
Travis Fulgham. That's the name of their number one wide receiver. And while I have faith that Bradbury is going to lock him up, it's like you guys said, they're playing better with less players. What I said at the beginning, each week their offense has improved with less and less players. It's crazy. We're gonna get rid of Travis Fulgham, but somehow, some way, they're gonna find
JJ how do you say his name? JJ Whiteside. Yeah.
Yeah, you know who I'm actually scared of because you're right. Travis Fulgham is going to get locked up, and he's been playing extremely well. But he's like a Darius Slayton kind of. He's like a guy that just showed up out of nowhere. He's a burner, and but a guy that scares me is Greg Ward. He's a guy that's constantly getting receptions for them in the slot and getting these crossing routes. And the Giants suck with crossing routes. How many times did CD Lamb kill us on the crossing routes? Dontrell Inman last year.
Last year, bro. Didn't Greg Ward play against us last year and he killed us?
And even though Ertz is hurt, they still have Goddard. Like
no, Goddard's out.
He is?
He's been out for like the season.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, who am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
Probably Ertz.
Ertz is out for this game, but Goddard's been out for like the entire season.
Wait, Goddard was in week 1 though, right?
Yeah, he played week 1. I had him on fantasy, and then he got hurt and screwed me up. But
yeah,
wait, who is their other tight end then? Who am I thinking of?
Their tight end this game is Richard Rodgers.
Oh, Richard Rodgers.
Yeah.
Richard Rodgers. Yeah, former Green Bay tight end. He played well.
Also, I had an Eagles YouTuber on my channel yesterday for a stream. Great guy, Philly Notion. And you know what? He's probably one of the best Philly fans ever because he was on my side with a couple of Giants things. He's like, I don't know. I don't get why Giants fans are giving up on Daniel Jones. That's stupid to me. Can
we talk about that? Let's talk about that. I want to talk about this.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Because he was like, he went through the same thing with Carson.
Yeah,
go ahead. This is my thought. This is my, I think about this literally every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Lauren
I'm like
and she's like, Daniel Jones.
So, this is, me as a person, ever since I was little, I always asked a bunch of, what if questions. My mom's always like, stop asking me what if questions. Just, address it, when we get there. Stop asking so many hypotheticals. So, obviously, in 2004, I was 4 when Eli was drafted. Eli was basically the only Giants quarterback I've ever seen play, right? And every week, it was just Eli was going to play, and it was great. I just thought that was normal. You just have the same quarterback for 10 years. How many years has it been? Math, okay, whatever. Basically, what was that 16 years?
Yeah,
15 years. Yeah. It's just normal that someone wins Super Bowls, and it's just every week for your whole life. And now I'm afraid. I don't want to be in a quarterback oblivion. Is that the right word? I'm just well, if he isn't the guy, then what's going to happen? And if they have like a mid-draft spot, like in the middle of the draft, and then they can't get a top prospect, and then like, are they going to sign like a random veteran? And then like, what's going to happen? Are we going to have like 5 quarterbacks come in, like the Washington football team has had? Like, is this what's going to happen? So I'm like nervous. I'm just like, let whoever needs to be the guy, like be the guy. Like, I don't know what the answer is. And like, clearly none of us right now know what the answer is because it's the middle of the season. And I think it's going to have a lot to do with if a new GM does come in. Like, I think that will have something to do with it. And I don't know. I'm just like very like, I don't know. Like, I would love Daniel Jones to be the guy. Like, that would be great. Like, that would be easy. Like, let's be honest. That would be the easiest thing for this team if Daniel Jones just had a great rest of the season. Like, that would be great.
That's what I want. That's ideally probably what everybody wants. Well, besides the tank for Trevor squad, and that's what Cookie Monster says. He says, "Lauren, just say it with me: tank for Trevor." But
like honestly, like okay, like before last week, I was like, okay, like if they are in the position to draft Trevor Lawrence, obviously they're going to do it, and obviously I would be fine with that. Like, and obviously like, I wouldn't be mad at like them being in the position, because honestly, if there is a year to get the number 1 pick and like be bad, it's this year. This is like such a weird year. Like, we can't go to the games. Like, it's just like a weird year. But like I just don't. I say this at the end of like in the middle of every video. I'm like, I don't know if Daniel Jones is the guy, but also like, who does know? Like, no one knows right now.
Right. I feel like there are people now. Everybody's mostly in limbo right now. I don't think anybody's like surefire he's the guy. Most people are in limbo right now if he's the guy or not, like similar to probably everybody in this chat right now. But then there's a lot of guys that are completely off of it. Like, there's guys that are completely off of the bandwagon saying they want, there's guys even saying they want Trey Lance or Justin Fields.
I'll say this. I think how Justin Fields plays, like if he does like have a really good season, I think that also might have something to do with it. Like, if he just has a crazy season like what Joe Burrow had last year and the Giants have, I honestly think Justin Fields will go number 2 overall. Unless the Bengals or someone has the pick, like that just drafted a quarterback.
Right. I'm looking forward to seeing him play. But I mean, like, I would have like if I get rid of Daniel Jones, it would have to be a generational set.
Exactly.
Like Kyler Murray is like they really believed in Kyler Murray, and that coach has wanted him. Forgot the coach's name. It's escaping my mind. Kingsbury, yeah. Cliff Kingsbury, I think his name is. Yeah. So he's wanted Kyler Murray since high school. So that's why he made that pick and said, hey, I'm getting rid of Josh Rosen. I know you guys drafted him last year, but I'm getting rid of him and I'm getting my guy. I just don't want the Giants to think that if you just he needs to be, Trevor Lawrence needs to be the guy.
Yeah, and I think Trevor Lawrence is, but I don't think the Giants are going to have the chance to draft him, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither.
I think what will be interesting, though, I think a situation where the Giants don't draft a quarterback is, like, if Trevor Lawrence, for some reason, decides not to come out, if the Jets have the number 1 overall pick, because then I think Justin Fields will go number 1 overall, and then it'd be Trey Lance. Honestly, I like Justin Fields as of right now more than Trey Lance. But Trey Lance only played 1 game. So, I don't know. Yeah. He's only going to play 1 game.
Yeah, so hold on. Did he play just 1 game and that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
And so they only
he
played...
declared already, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure he declared for the draft, though.
Yeah, but so hold on. So, the whole team got together and said, hey, this is for you. This is for you, Trey.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I forgot who they played. I don't know what it was, but they had 1 game.
That's crazy. Imagine being Trey Lance and you're just there in the huddle and all your wide receivers are there, your backup players are there, and you're like, all right, guys, you need to make me look good.
He didn't have a great game either, though. That's the thing.
Wow, that's insane. I can't believe they did that. That's just that.
I don't know. I don't know if it was because I know I think some wide receiver from that school declared. But I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. It's just we can't. I feel like you can't. As hard as it is not to have a decision in your mind, because I feel like we all want to know what's gonna happen, or at least me, because I'm I just want to know what the future is. Let me just know what the team will look like. I don't think we'll know until the season's over.
Yeah, I'm with you, Lauren. I am scared to see what happens.
I
with
just
the
don't like
Giants.
uncertainty.
Yeah, I just don't. I hate the unknown. I hate uncertainty. I want to be certain that Daniel Jones is the guy. That's why I'm always in my post game recaps, something like that. We talk about like my Daniel Jones segment because it feels like I have to talk about Daniel Jones and dissect this game for everybody. But it's so hard for me to defend him and say, he's the guy. It's just wait, all this other stuff that he keeps turning over the football, throws
It's
for
just like, why
112
does it
yards.
keep happening?
Exactly.
It's like a streak. I don't know. Like, I'm just like, why does it always happen?
And it's so hard to defend them.
It's just weird. Like, it's just like,
Yeah.
and it's like it happens like the weirdest ways now too.
Mm-hmm.
Like last game, that was so weird. Like, I don't know. It's just like, it's like creating new ways.
Exactly. Just creating new ways to fumble the ball and turn over the ball.
It's just like an unlucky thing almost too. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Daniel Jones is like a bad luck Brian guy, right? That being just bad luck Brian. That's what I feel like Daniel Jones is. He just never goes his way. He gets absolutely blindsided by DeMarcus Lawrence because Andrew Thomas just let him right through, right? And off the rollout, Daniel Jones is running, prancing along, and he just gets mollywopped in the back.
That's the thing I will say though. I don't know why they don't like allow him to get out of the pocket more. I think it's funny though because I remember his first game. Everyone was saying like, "Oh, look at this guy just standing in there in the pocket, not afraid." And like now we realize like it's because he doesn't really feel pressure in the pocket. Exactly. Like it's like a huge issue.
Right? Exactly. I'm glad.
It was just so funny. The Tampa Bay game. The announcers were like, "So brave!" Like, it's like, well, this is actually a huge issue now.
I'm glad you brought that up because I said it in one of my recaps. I feel like Daniel Jones, you always want a quarterback that's locked in, right? You always want a guy that is calm, like Aaron Jones, doesn't feel the pressure. But it's like Daniel Jones doesn't even feel the pressure at all. He's just so oblivious to it. He just doesn't feel it at all. And it's so bad that there's a pass rusher in his face and he still just has the ball like this, So it's like you want Daniel Jones to feel some pressure now. Like you
feel something, Danny.
Feel something because like you said, and when he first started playing, we were all like raving that he doesn't feel anything in the pocket. He's so cool under pressure. But now it's becoming a problem.
Now we're like, this isn't good. Like, and the thing is, he is athletic enough. Like if he could just, feel the pressure coming from behind him or something, he could get out of the pocket and like extend the play. But it's just like, I don't know how you get someone to like feel.
Right.
I don't know. Like, how do you teach that?
How do you teach pocket awareness? How do you teach to have that sixth sense, man? Like, I don't know. I think the problem was it's funny because with Eli, he felt a little too much pressure. When he had a clean pocket, he would still fold. But then Daniel Jones is completely the opposite. It's like we can never get that perfect balance of pocket awareness. And I don't even know how you teach pocket awareness. I think Daniel Jones needs to not trust his offensive linemen. How about that? He needs to think everybody sucks because they kind of do. So he needs to think they all suck, and he needs to keep aware of his surroundings. And I guess that's how you teach it. But yeah, I don't know why he thinks he has a Pro Bowl offensive line around him.
And it's like he can move. Like you use your legs. Like you can extend the play. Like you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out of there. As soon as the ball snapped, run out of the pocket. Even if it's
that's what he's probably going to have to do. Hub, what do you think? What's good?
On what?
Hub is like so chill right now. Are you good?
I would get Daniel Jones to feel something.
Yeah.
Feel something.
I think you're pulling a Daniel Jones. You feel nothing right now. Is that you?
I've like said a lot of times what my thoughts on DJ are. I'm gonna judge at the end of the year, and I'm out here to talk about the season right now.
Yeah.
That's about it. He's my guy until he's not my guy. He's there for the rest of the season. That's all I'm saying.
So, Jesus, is Hub stoned? I don't know what happened to Hub in the past 10 minutes now.
I'm here. I'm here.
So what's he playing? Daniel Jones better not run. He would end up like Dak. I hope not. Daniel Jones could run. Listen, Daniel Jones has some wheels on him, man. That 49-yard run was insane. He totally broke the ankles of the cameraman.
He went 20.48 miles an hour on that run.
That was insane. And what's funny? He doesn't even look like he went that fast, but the players couldn't catch up to him. Yeah, he takes very long strides, so it doesn't look like he's running that fast. But
his arms too, and he runs. He's like really using his arms.
He's like a cartoon character running. He looks like a cartoon character, start trying to run. But he gets it done, man. He's got some wheels, man.
Yeah, at Duke, he had a couple of 60-yard touchdowns. I thought that was going to be his first 60-yard touchdown in the NFL, but they caught up to him.
Yeah, I know they called it to. I thought he was going to run for that one, but it's crazy. And Darius Slayton called him Daniel Jackson after the game too.
Darius Slayton definitely watched my stream, bro, because as that run was happening, I called him Daniel Jackson. Darius Slayton watches my channel, confirmed.
Oh man, yeah, but listen, man, we'll see. Kid Blue, you're slower than Carson Wentz. I am slower than Carson Wentz. He's pretty fast. He's pretty damn fast.
He's an NFL athlete,
Yeah, exactly.
A pro football player. That's the start.
That runs like a 4.8 for a quarterback. So or maybe even faster than that. He runs like a 4.6 or something like that. I don't know. Oh man, but
if Daniel Jones, I will say, if Daniel Jones does play well against the Eagles, then a lot of people will be quiet. For sure.
Especially prime time, especially Thursday night.
It will be like a 180, I think.
It's funny because I've said that for like the past 3 weeks. I'm like, all right, this is the game he has to prove the haters wrong.
That game for sure. I was like 3 touchdowns.
The Cowboys
passing, like 250 yards.
I was like that defense against the Cowboys, and then he had the perfect setup with the 2 minutes left to go, the drive home and win.
I was like, oh, here we go.
He chokes in the clutch, and I was like, bam.
Second coming of Eli right here.
Yeah, I was like last week in my preview, I'm like, this is definitely the game. Washington only has a defensive line, and he smokes Washington every time he goes up against them, bro. He had 5 touchdowns on their head last year. He's definitely going to kill it. This is the game. And nothing happened, really. And then this game, I'm like, I didn't really say anything because I know he's going to struggle because of that Philly pass rush. So I'm like, yeah, I didn't even say, all right, this is the game he has to prove them wrong. I'm just like, just be a game manager, bro, and get us that win.
I really want Daniel Jones to have an Eli moment again because he's had that about 2 times this year. He hasn't been able to live up to it. I call me crazy, but I want this to be a close game with the Eagles where it comes to the last minute, 2 minutes left on the clock, 2 timeouts, and Daniel Jones leads the team down the score. That's what I want to see from Daniel Jones. Then he could start proving to the world that maybe he is the real deal. So that's what I want to see. I want to see the game very close. And at the end, Daniel Jones wins the game.
See, now this is how I know Kid Blue is a Dallas fan, bro. This is how I know Kid Blue is a Dallas fan because I want the game to be completely far apart and we blow them out. But he wants
I want that close game. I want the drama.
Y'all are Dallas fans, bro.
Well, because he needs to that's like a bigger confidence booster.
You tell me a blowout win isn't a big confidence booster?
What are the odds of
play the Titanic music over its game winning touchdown?
Oh yes, we need to put the Titanic music. We haven't been able to see that all season. Nobody's been putting that up there, but
that will make Danny feel something.
Yeah,
emotions.
Exactly, feel some emotion. Feel like you have that feeling and start tearing up a little bit.
I'm guessing you guys never.
It's the Titanic music that will make him tear up there for sure.
I'm guessing you guys never had a blowout win before, man. That's the biggest confidence booster.
Okay, yeah, but what are the odds of that happening? I mean, I feel like
it's better than having.
Can you put Titanic music over a blowout win?
Because here's the thing, Katie.
Yeah, right.
The odds of that are better than it being a close game against Philly because we haven't had a close game against Philly in about 3 years.
That's very true, but we've had close games.
Philly has always blown us out.
Right. I mean, we'll see what happens, but I honestly think just because, first of all, just like every season, I know this happens every year and they still beat us, but Philly has been dropping the ball like crazy lately. Like literally, they've been dropping passes like insanely this season. And, I can't trust Travis Fulgham and Greg Ward, these guys, to really put in a lot of work. I know Deshaun Jackson's there, but I don't think he's going to be a great I'm
gonna say it right here. Greg Ward, just like last year, is gonna somehow find a way to murder us again.
Greg Ward, yeah, probably. But we'll see what happens. Guys, we're gonna be ending wrapping up in a couple of minutes. Make sure you guys leave your final comments and questions down below as we wrap this up. But yeah, I honestly think the Giants can win this game. I don't know if I'm gonna necessarily say they will. But, I think they have a good shot too. I think they have a really good shot too.
They definitely have a good shot. It's the same as it has been against the Cowboys and against Washington. Is that same shot they're having. So it could go either way, and I hope it goes in the Giants' favor. But with Philly, literally they find ways to just make it not go their way.
Yeah, and knowing the Giants, how the Giants run things when against Philly, we were always up in the games, and then we wound up, blowing the lead. That 19-3 game would never escape my memory. But
Mhm.
we'll see. Sean Alexander Jermaine Werner, that is a long name. But what's going on? He says, "Are we buyers or sellers at the trade deadline?" We kind of mentioned that earlier. I'm kind of on the fence about it. I don't think the Giants will do anything. I think the hub agrees with me on that one. But
Yeah, there.
I don't know.
Like last year, we the only thing that happened was Leonard Williams, which is big, right? But that was the only thing. I expect absolutely nothing to happen this year. We got not. If we're gonna here's the thing, we got nothing to buy with because we got no picks,
Right.
and I feel like it's gonna be a very precarious situation to sell because we may or may not be in contention for first place. So it's like, do you really want to sell at that point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So what do you think, Lauren?
Buyers or sellers? Sorry, I just like zoned out.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
not even that. Just like, do you think anything is gonna happen at the trade deadline?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if nothing happened, to be honest with you. I think they might be sellers if a team, really wants to trade for a player and they can get a decent pick back in return, because I think they need picks and I think they probably want picks. Especially because like the roster has changed so much over like the past few years. I feel like the roster is just consistently guys from the draft. And I mean, I don't think if there is a new GM that they will be hired before the trade deadline. So like Dave Gettleman probably isn't like, oh, like I need to like make sure I get more draft picks for the new GM. But
Exactly. That's why I kind of think the Giants probably won't do anything, because if Gettleman has a chance that they say, hey, win some games and then you can keep your job, he's probably going to start buying. But I just don't think he sells
that to him.
Huh?
What
They said that to him.
Well, there's a guy named Dan Graziano. He said that it's pretty much set in stone that Dave Gettleman's gone. So
Yeah,
I don't
saw
know
that report.
I don't know if that's just smoke. I don't know if they're just throwing it out there.
And I
But
wouldn't be surprised if he was fired. And in my head, I kind of have it that he will be fired. I don't know if it was one of you guys who said that he could possibly retire, or maybe that was someone else on a different stream.
Yeah, I know somebody said that.
And I could see that.
It was. I think it was PTA.
That
said that.
Okay. When you
said
said Kid KB, when you said, I'm just called you Kid Blue fully. I don't know why. I just called you KB. Like, Kid Blue RB27. When you said, like, what did you say? Like, oh, maybe they say to him, you can keep your job if you win some games. Is that what you said?
Right. Yeah. If you
I just pictured the Bears just being like to get them and like, hey, you can keep your job if you win some games, okay?
Yeah,
like, I don't know why I just pictured that in my head. It's so funny.
Exactly. I think
it's like straight up to him, like, hey, we're gonna fire you, but like if you win some games, we'll keep you.
Exactly. I mean, sometimes I feel like that's how it goes, And then right now they're at a such a in between point, right? Because they're trying to rebuild at the same time. They're like one game out of the division and they're 1-5. So that tells them, hey, maybe we should make a push. The division sucks right now, so maybe we should.
I love how they have one win, and it's like,
yeah, right. We got one win.
In the division race.
Exactly.
That's what I was telling you. Yo, let's calm down a little bit. You know what this reminds me of? The overreacting character on my skits. This is how y'all sound, low key.
You know what this reminds me of? 28? Was it 2018? It was 2018.
When Odell said we're gonna run the table.
No, Odell wasn't with us at the time. It was
in 2018. Yeah, he was.
No, it was Saquon's rookie year. We didn't have Odell.
We had Odell.
We did have Odell. We did
this
have
man,
Odell.
Bro. This man.
You're right.
I mix up the years so much now.
Like, yeah, I mixed up. We sucked every year, so it doesn't even matter.
Too many coaches, too many GMs.
Yeah, but 2018. Okay, yeah, you're right. So we start losing a bunch of games, and then we go on a little bit of a hot streak, and I think we were like 2-7, and then we're like, we could still win the division, guys.
Yeah.
We could still make it. I was like,
literally the same thing can be said for like the past 3 years.
I looked back at those videos and I was like, how stupid was I? Like,
I'm gonna look back at this video and be like, how stupid were we?
Exactly. I'm gonna look back like
so naive when we've experienced this every year.
God. Jade Doug says nothing about Odell. One thing I do know is that I know now we shouldn't. I mean, everybody's saying that we should have kept Odell. I don't think we should have, even though we're having wide receiver issues.
Nah, what I would have done to fix the wide receiver issues if I had time travel powers, I don't know how you guys feel about this. I would have been like, hey, yo, Xavier, I know you about to be injured, so I'm not drafting you. I'm gonna take like Laviska Shenault or something.
I don't understand why they didn't draft a wide receiver in this
Yeah.
draft. I thought they were like it's the deepest one of the deepest wide receiver
My
classes
boy
ever.
Calvin
like, why
Hodges.
not?
Where did Calvin Hodges go? I wanted him so badly.
I don't even know, but I would have went out and got John. I'm a Boise State fan, so John
Mhm.
Hightower. He went to the Eagles, but he was like a 5th round pick. I would have drafted him around there. John Hightower is a decent receiver, and he would have been another good, late round pick like Darius Slayton was. I would have just picked him up, but I don't know. I don't know why I didn't pick him. And like I said, I feel, in my honest opinion, the wide receiver position has been the most neglected position that Dave Gettleman has had because he's got rid of Odell.
The wide receiver position has been cursed since the boat trip.
Exactly. Oh, yes, it's the boat trip,
The
definitely.
whole team has been cursed since the boat trip.
And it's like, I don't like talking draft, but the position I'm definitely drafting with the first, if not one of the first picks, is going to be wide receiver because as much as I want pass rusher, this is a very weak pass rushing class. So might well look at that in free agency or get one in the second round because it's a very weak pass rushing class. And then other than that, it's literally just wide receiver and middle linebacker is like the two most important to me.
Yeah, I'm all for getting a wide receiver sometime in the draft.
Yeah, for sure. They have to.
Oh yeah, I tell you, even if we get a new GM or if it's still Dave Gettleman, it'll be criminal not to get another freaking wide receiver, especially draft one, because that's.
Guys, I'm telling you, imagine real quick, Daniel Jones next year throwing to Darius Slayton, Jamar Chase, and Evan Ingram.
Jamar Chase.
Daniel Jones throwing to Darius Slayton,
where do you think
Jamar
Jamar Chase is
and
going to
Evan
be
Ingram.
drafted? I saw him at like number 3
Yeah,
at one
He's
draft.
really, really high. He's super, super high.
Yeah, but
I just don't know how I feel about drafting
high.
wide receiver that high.
Yeah,
I know he's really, really good.
Yeah, like think about Corey Davis. Like he went like 4th overall or something like that.
So listen,
pick, right?
Huh?
John Ross was the top 10 pick, right?
Yeah, he was 9th. Yeah, so a
Yeah.
lot of these receivers that go higher are not very
I got
good.
you. And I think we're all for this. Trade back and then see what you get.
Yeah. Honestly,
I would trade back too. So and
is
also
this the
going
deep wide
back,
receiver class again?
I wouldn't say deep, but it's
right.
top heavy.
Yeah, it's
Alright.
top heavy. You got I think the name is
Jalen Waddle.
Jalen Waddle, yeah,
is also another really good one. Yeah.
he's really good. His name is so weird, but
Yeah, Waddle.
Waddle. Look at
Jalen
Waddle. Waddle waddling along, but I like Jamar Chase.
Waddling.
And he played. Yeah.
Yo, shout out to Calvin in the chat. He's one of my subs, a Cardinals fan. He says week by week the Giants are improving. Forget the prior L's. Y'all are going in the right direction. Good luck tomorrow night. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah, big shout out to Calvin too, and the Arizona Cardinals because they were in the same position we were like 2 years ago, but they have like doubled their production. Like they are actually a good team and they're rebuilding the right way, and we're just like here still waiting on something to happen. But
Also, speaking of names, Kyler has like one of the coolest names in the NFL.
Yeah,
I think that's
Kyler.
like the coolest. My middle name's Tyler actually, so it's like kind of similar, but like Kyler is like pretty cool.
You'll take credit for that one.
Yeah. No, I honestly think that's like such a sick name.
Yeah, Kyler's pretty cool. But I just somehow I know whole Josh Allen, Daniel Jones, but I don't know why. I just really wish we had the number 1 overall pick 2 years ago and we got Kyler Murray. I think
I wanted Kyler to come to the Giants somehow. Like I remember he had a meeting with the Giants, right? He was like the only other team that he met with. Like
I honestly,
it was so fun to watch play. Like I said, like whoa.
Think about one thing. Kyler Murray's running ability, especially his passing ability, is elite. But his running ability, what Saquon's running ability, there's no stopping. Dude, there's no stopping it. You can't stop it.
Like literally, just like so many option plays. Like
exactly.
Oh
and honestly, if we had Kyler Murray, Saquon doesn't tear his ACL. My honest opinion, because they wouldn't have to use Saquon as much or run him into the ground. But that's my honest opinion. But guys, we'll be getting ready to wrap this up soon. Awesome freaking stream. This is fantastic.
Yeah, this was fun. I just need to always just like not vent, but like be like, is it gonna be okay, guys? Like, will the team be okay at some point in the next decade?
It'd be alright.
We'll be okay, everyone.
It's always good being able to relax, go live, and speak to the viewers and stuff like that, just to vent a little bit. But yeah, guys. So that being said, we're gonna end this off here. great stream. Thank you so much for Lauren coming on. Hub,
Thank you.
as always. And yeah, we will see you guys on the next stream. See you guys later.